7. Easy ways to manage personal finances. Perfect for a small salary. What did you do when you got your paycheck? Buy the item you've been coveting? Or even spent immediately? Do you already know how to manage your personal finances so that the money you have can last until the end of the month? How to manage finances is one solution so that the money you have can last until the end of the month. Usually, it's easy for children to hold a lot of money. They want to spend it right away. Knowing how to manage your finances, you can also keep your financial condition stable. Come on, just pay attention to these explanations on how to manage personal finances with a small or mediocre salary, so that you can last until the end of the month. Here are some ways to manage personal finances that you can do. 1. Distinguish needs and wants. The first way to manage personal finances is to distinguish between needs and wants. The needs referred to here are the necessities of daily life, such as eating and drinking, to the fare to work. While desire is shopping for lifestyle, for example, such as buying clothes, hanging out in cafes, buying coffee at high prices, to hobbies. Why do we need to distinguish between needs and wants if we want good personal financial management? This is so that you can find out which ones are obligations and which ones are to satisfy yourself. So that when you manage your personal finances, you can see where the most money is spent. Is it for need or want? 2. Create a financial plan. The next way to manage finances is to make a financial plan. How to make a financial plan? Actually, it's quite easy to do. You can start to compile a list of your monthly expenses and income per month. The goal is that when you use the method of managing personal finances, income and expenses can be easily monitored. This financial plan is also needed as a reference for carrying out financial calculations that you have, so that later you can still choose which one is really needed, and which one is not. For example, you need a week's work fee of $50. But you also want to hang out in a cafe and can spend the same amount. With such a personal financial management model, you can see what is needed and what is not, right? 3. Apply the 50-20-30 rule method. You can also use the 50-20-30 rule as a way to manage your personal finances. This method is an alternative way that aims to divide your finances according to the percentage 50-20-30, as follows: 50% for personal needs, 20% for savings, 30% for wishes. This way of managing personal finances is claimed to be able to make you manage money ideally for these three needs. In this way, you can get everything. 4. Be wise in using credit cards. Being wise in using credit cards is the next way to manage personal finances that you need to pay attention to. It is undeniable that credit cards and pay later features really help us get the goods we want. But if you can't use it wisely, big bills are ready to come to you at the end of the month. If it's not really an emergency, it would be better if you avoid it. 5. Always prepare an emergency fund. The next way to manage personal finances is to set up an emergency fund. We never know when we need an emergency fund. So there's nothing wrong with setting aside a little of your income for an emergency fund. The nominal amount is up to you. It doesn't have to be the same every time you set it aside, but try to consistently do it every day. The thing you need to pay attention to is that this emergency fund will be enough if you need it at any time. 6. Learn investment. Investment is also one way to manage personal finances wisely. The investment you make doesn't need to be expensive. Just investing in mutual funds is enough to become your savings later. The thing that you have to pay attention to is to choose the type of investment that already has certification and gets permission. 7. Avoid debt. One more way to manage personal finances that you can do is avoid debt. Did you know that debt is one of the biggest obstacles in managing finances? If there is no urgent need, you should not be in debt. Instead of applying for loans, it would be better if you refrain from buying things you don't need. Conclusion. Keep in mind, arrange the financial plan as best as possible by adjusting the priority needs. Be wise in spending money for supplies in the future.